Hey guys, video. So back at it again with another deck profile. This is now Autodeity Army, and you guys are gonna think this is weird. I will tell you why it's not regular Autodeity Army later, but okay. So, anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, donate to the Patreon, and let's just get started. So I just said Autodeity Army, which means this is the chaos. Because who runs an Autodeity Army deck from Dragon World? Because that's stupid. Because you only get like 2 or 3 attacks out of a turn. With this deck, you can get about 6. And I say 6 and not more. Once again, you'll find out why later. My buddy is not Chaos Transcendent Gear God 7. I mean Gear God 99, or the 1000 guy. It's Pro Leader Gear God version 088. I do not run the Chaos upgrade, so don't even bother me about this. 60k, 6,000, 60,000 power, 3 crit, 6,000 defense, size 90. Put any number of monsters from your field into his soul and pay 3 gauge to call him. When he enters your field, you may call a size 3 less chaos monster from your drop zone without paying its call cost, and then overkill once per turn effect. Once per game effect. Discard a card from your hand during the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. If you do, destroy all monsters on the opponent's field, and you gain life equal to the number destroyed. Chaos Territory Soul Guard, it does not have any Chaos Drain, and you don't have to have the Soul Placement ability. That's just there if you want it. This card is all types of bull crap, especially in this deck, since a lot of the cards cost gauge, so he basically makes their gauge costs useless. And he's just an all-around broken card, especially since it's like amazing for defense. In my opinion, between him and then the guy who's overkill, search your deck for a monster, call it, search your deck for an item, equip it without paying their cost, is really broken. But unfortunately, Bushiroad had to ban it. Why, Bushiroad? I'm begging you, don't ban it. Unban it, please. So I can actually go buy it off the internet. I actually will. If the second that they ban it, I will buy it at 4. Trust me, YouTube, I will actually do it. I will make it my buddy if I can buy enough copies. So, 4 copies of Flame, Dragon, Mech, Chaos, Linear, 6k power, 5k defense, critical of 2. At the end of the battle of this card, whether it attacked or it was attacked, if you have another Autodeity Army in your field, bounce it to your hand. Really nice. It fills the cost for Gear God's Overkill on its own. Like, say you had nothing in your hand and you had this guy on the field and you had Gear God and you haven't used Overkill yet. You go attack, bounce, now you have the cost for Overkill. Really nice. It's broken. Just good. Here's why it's not normal before I get into it. I don't run bots. I don't run Demon's Chaos or Dragon. I don't run the draw card. People say those are necessary, important parts of an LDD army deck, and yet this deck works perfectly fine without them. And people say I needed those cards when this deck works fine without it. And I just realized I'm missing a card in this deck that I will get later. Twin Swords Mech, Chaos and Orochi, 6k power, 6k defense, critical of 2, size 3. I'm just not going to say size 3 since you know all of them are size 3 except for Gear God. When this card enters your field, if you have another Autodeity Army on your field, you may choose one of the following 2. You either gain 2 life, or for this turn, it gets plus 2 crit. I've used the plus 2 crit one once, and that was against the Prism player, and I assumed that he didn't have shields in his hand, and that's what ended up winning me the game, because he didn't have shields. Otherwise, I would have totally gained the 2 life, because this deck likes getting a lot of life, and I'm missing a card from this deck. I own it, I just didn't put it in for whatever reason, because I'm stupid. I know what it is. I'm gonna get it during this video, and I'm just gonna shove it in. I'm just stupid. I don't know why I didn't put it in there. But he's good for that, because he basically puts the cost on his own. 4 copies of Chaos Chibi Panda. 6k power, 6k defense, critical of 2. If another auto DDR monster in your field be destroyed, you put this card from your drop zone, from your field into your drop zone. If you do, it remains on the field. Really nice, because you can just kill it off, save your other auto DD army. In my opinion, I like to say fanning, my ace auto DD army, because it's just like, kill it, it's just saved. And fanning does a lot for this deck. 4 copies of Frontline Blacksmith. I grabbed this thing perfectly from the stack. I really wish I was recording that part. 2k, 2 crit, 7k power, 4k defense, pay a gauge to call him. When he enters your field, put up to 1 DD army item from your deck into your hand, shuffle your deck, and then if you have no items equipped, equip it by paying its equip cost. Which is really nice because I only run 1 item, and the equip cost is a gauge and a life, and the item is pretty much broken, so technically I'm running 8 items, which is really nice. And 4 copies of Misfiring Mech Chaos Globes. He's my favorite and my gauge engine since I only have 2 cards in this deck. That's a gauge engine, and this is one of them. And the other's a spell. 9k power, 1k defense, critical of 1. And when another Autodeity army monster enters your field, you get a gauge, a once per turn effect. I'm okay with that kind of, for field spamming reasons. And when this card attacks and destroys an opponent's monster, destroy a monster on the opponent's field. So essentially, it's like kill bots, kill Chibi, whatever, kill Garga, kill Gargo, full. You're just killing off 2 cards in one, which is really nice. 4 copies, always run him actually, because he's a really good gauge engine. 4 copies of Bombard Mech Chaos Cylinder, 7k power, 4k defense, critical of 2. Pay a gauge. When this card enters your field, if you have another Autodeity army on your field, destroy a monster in the opponent's field. And when this card attacks, if you have 4 life or less, gains double attack. I've never gone off the 4 life or less thing because I've always spammed Twin Sword and Orochi and Gear God to the point where I'm at higher life, and I've been blocking up my center, and basically I've been preventing my opponents from touching me. And because of the way that this deck is a multi-attacked and not focusing highly on boss, Chaos Sword Dragon, and then the Dragon Royale thing, I've been pushing my opponents into so small corners that at certain points I haven't even gone down past 6 life. One deck brought me lower than 6 life, and that was bots. And that was at 5 life. They brought me down to 5 life, and they didn't have the impact, and I was like, screw you, man, I win. 4 copies of the Ace Autodeity army, in my opinion. Military Devisor Mech Chaos Fanning. 6k power, 4k defense, critical of 3. Pay a gauge. During your turn, all Autodeity army monsters on your field cannot be bounced, destroyed, or rest by opponent's card effects. Basically, your opponent can't touch them, which is really nice, and their abilities cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effects. Basically mean what I said earlier, your opponent can't goddamn touch them. It's broken. And then Gear God. You all know what he does. That was our monsters. Oh, whoops. Now on to shoot. What the hell? Now on to our spells. This is the spell that I screwed up on. Chaos Wall, Healing Barrier. Why this is in my deck, I don't know. It was nullify an attack if you have a Chaos on your field. Then if you have 3 more, you gain a life. What the real card's supposed to be is Chaotic Pain, which I will get in a second. Chaotic Pain essentially pay a life, mill 3, and then you gain 3 gauge. Really nice because it gives you fodder for Gear God, and then it basically refills the cost of everything. And I don't know why I'm not running it now. Chaos Wall, Barrier of Havoc. You may cast a card during an attack on the opponent's turn. You have 2 more Chaos on your field. You get a gauge. Really nice. Like I said, this deck has a gauge problem. Once again, I will get it by the end of this video. Just, yeah, really nice for gauge spam. Get that wall up. Block stuff. Get a lot of gauge. 4 copies of Chaos Signal. It's like a nullify in itself. You may only cast a card when an monster on your field is destroyed during your opponent's turn, whether it's by attack or effect. Call an Autodeity army monster from your deck by paying its call cost and then shuffle your deck. What I've done sometimes, I've had Chaos Globes on my left or right, most of the times on my left, and then I'll cast this, pay a gauge, call, what's his name? Call Rectangle, search my deck for my items since I don't have an equip it, and then gain a gauge. So essentially, it cost me 1 gauge and 1 life to spam out 2 cards to my field for the cost of 1 card dying. Really nice. 4 copies. Our item that we keep hearing so much about. Autodeity Armor, Chaos Finger. When I equip this, I flip my opponent off. Because screw them, and because if you look at it right, the finger that's being held up is 1 away from being the middle finger. So, screw it. 5k power, 1 crit. Pay a gauge in life to equip. It can attack you if you have a center, and when it attacks, if you have another Autodeity army on field for this turn, it gets double attack. Really nice. It puts pressure on your opponent. That's why I like it. This deck is really just made to put pressure on your opponent, put them into a corner, so you have a lot of life and bullcrap them for game. Now for our impacts, 4 copies of DD Lance, Chaos X Tempest Buster. You may only cast a card if your opponent has 5 life or less, and you have no monsters on your center, and if you've attacked 4 more times this turn. So you have to do 1 more attack than the regular X Tempest Buster, and they have to have no centers, unfortunately. Pay 3 gauge, deal 5 damage, it cannot be nullified, this cannot be reduced, and if your opponent's life becomes 0, it cannot be changed, and they cannot revive from it. Basically, what this means is unless they're playing Danny Sus or Drago Uno, which it doesn't change their life, they just prevent their opponent from doing damage to them. Like a buddy fight changed my life. It's just screwing them over, and it prevents the impact in general. Be right back. I'm gonna get my box for Chaotic Pain that I have Chaotic Pain in. BRB. It might be silent for a few seconds. Hey guys, sorry about that. Never mind, I have to go back because I grabbed the wrong box. I hate life. Give me a second. This takes a second because I'm stupid. Sorry guys, that's weird. I was stupid and I picked the wrong box because I thought it was a different one because I did some box moving around with the decks. So give me a second. Chaotic Pain, where is it? Oh, here it is. What do you know? It's right on top. Chaotic Pain. Pay life, melt 3, gain 3. Running at 2 in this deck. I don't know why the hell I wasn't running it at all. I guess I just forgot it existed in the excitement of me getting this deck, because I really wanted it. That was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. We will be doing the Blade Dancer versus Mini Gear God fight probably directly after this video, if not tomorrow. We just forgot to do it earlier in the week when we actually did the fight, because we're stupid. Sorry for the inconvenience. Don't forget to donate to the Patreon, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to raise your flag. Can you pull a buddy rare card?